Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the live. I don't know if everyone is here, so let's give 5 minutes to give time to everyone to join the live. In this time, I will start talking about me, about my experience in the school, and then if you have any question, just send it in direct or just write your question, and I will find a way to answer you. So, my name is Edoardo. Here I am from the office of promotion team, and I just came back from Zambia. I joined the project of 10 months. So I started my experience at the beginning of April with my 3 months of studying here in UK, in Winstead. We are on the east coast of England. I don't know if you already know the place, but I mean, we are there. And during these 3 months, we study a lot about leadership, about communication. We get more confidence with our presentation, and we also study about the place where we would have been during the project. In my case, Zambia, but I will speak about that later. And the main subjects are materialism, colonialism, a bit of history, but also how Humana People to People, which is sponsor of this project, works. Because for who doesn't know, Humana People to People is an association that born around the 90s. It borns from a group of revolutionary from Denmark that created a school, and they started to work for a better world. And after 20 years of this school, they created this organization to help in all the poorest country of the world. So, if I'm not remember wrong, Humana People to People work in 46 countries in the world, helping, as I said, all the poor country, all the poor people, all the rural areas in a sustainable development.
I want to ask you something.
Yes, we already have a question here.
Yeah,
We have
I have
the
a
team
question.
that.
I have a question.
Okay.
Why did you join the 10-month program? Like, what made you have this decision? Because it's a big decision to go somewhere and be away from your house for 10 months.
Yes, well, I was looking for a volunteering project since I think 3 or 4 years, and I never heard about this school before to start to inform myself. So I started. I saw the page on Instagram, and at the beginning it was too good to be believable. So before to ask for information, I started to follow properly the page and to get all my information on my way in my way, and then I felt free to join the program. But it was a moment of change in my life because I quit my job, so I was looking for something to do, but also I wanted to do something useful for me and for the world. So I took this opportunity to study, to know more about. First of all, to improve my English, but also to improve my knowledge, my skills. And when I saw the program, I saw that were also a lot of practical training and way to develop some skills. And so I said, okay, I feel that I can do it. And so I get in touch with Marie, and we had the first interview. And from the beginning, I was super ready to join the program. If it was for me, I would have lived the same day, but I had to wait.
The next program.
Yeah.
The one.
Yeah. And so, yes, I decided to join the school for this.
Okay. For who doesn't know, Edo is from Italy.
Yes, I'm from
So
Italy.
you guys can also ask questions in Italian if you want.
Do you think they can hear you?
I
hear
don't
you.
know, but you can say it.
Okay, so I will say again. I'm from Italy, so if you have a question in Italian, just write it in Italian. Here in promotion, we also have people who speak really good Italian, so they will write no, they will read the question and I will reply even in Italian. So feel free to.
Italian, Spanish,
Yes.
Portuguese.
Yeah, I start even this school is good actually also for this because uh, I came here thinking, okay, I will improve my English. Now I can understand Spanish. I start to understand Portuguese. So slowly, I'm improving also my language skills.
Next thing you know, you are going to start learning Romanian.
In Romanian, let's see.
Let's see.
Yeah.
So I think you can start and talk a little bit why you chose your project from Zambia.
Okay.
Why Zambia? Because you had other choices. You
Yes.
can also talk about the other countries that were an option.
Okay. So the choice of the project for us, it was a kind of mess because we were 10 in the team and we had 4 different projects to choose between Zambia and Malawi. The project works with the school. Our option were 2 teacher training courses. So teacher training means that you teach to future teacher how to evaluation, how to teach to the children to spread information and knowledge about everything. I have to say that this program was easy to for me to don't choose it because they were not my intention. I was kind of trying to understand if I wanted to participate to a health program or a preschool program. So work with super small children or work with people that needed support for their health situation. Finally, and one was in Malawi and one was in Zambia. So I had to balance my thoughts and to decide to take a final decision. And I chose Zambia because I thought that in the preschool I would have learned less, honestly, because I already worked in a preschool in Italy. So more or less I was already in a comfort zone working with the children. And also Zambia, the help in Zambia was really needed because Zambia is one with the highest infant mortality tax.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to understand, 25,000 people per year die for HIV and AIDS, and of those, 3,000 are under 14. So I felt a bit more a passion for this kind of program, and I decided to join this. And I have to say that it was good because I really had good time in Zambia. So I'm super happy to choose this program, to this project. To go through this project, and I will explain more or less how does it works, because the main goal of the project that I joined was the TCA. It means total control of epidemic, because as I said, a lot of people die because of the HIV, and so the goal is to control this situation, to spread information, because to control the situation is needed that everyone knows about HIV and AIDS, so they can go through and, for example, they can know about their status, and if they are negative, it's important that they know how to prevent the issue, and if they are positive, it's important that they know how to treat this condition, because there in Zambia there is a high stigma of HIV, so there is not a lot of information, and also there are social problems because there is a big stigma, as I said, about HIV, and so a lot of people hide their condition, or they don't know their condition because they don't want to be excluded by the society. So it's really important to spread the message and to spread the message, the main message, that you can live a happy life even if you are HIV positive. Because right now, we fortunately know the causes of the HIV. Is no more like in the 70s that it was a new thing. So we have the opportunity to save our life and to live like any other person, just taking a pill every day. So our main job was to make this thing understood by the people from the villages. Like this, it looks super easy. Imagine to do it in a place where no one is speaking English. So this was the first challenge, because the language that was spoken in my project was the Nyanja, which is one of the most spoken language in Zambia, but it's not even the main one. It's kind of a dialect from that area. So even in my team, sometimes in my team, I had Zambian people working with me, but coming from another part of the country. So sometimes also them had the challenge about the language, because they didn't speak this dialect. Maybe they were speaking another language in their village when they were young and they were working in another area. So it was kind of challenging. But slowly, with the support of the community, we also asked the support from local people that were speaking English to translate. So we asked them to do like a translator, like an intermediary. Yeah. There are questions in the chat.
I think that was hard to kind of have that correlation with
Yeah.
people, because you're trying to make yourself understood and they are trying to make themselves understood, and both of you are just sitting there like
Yeah, it's really hard, but I have to say that, yes, slowly and with a bit of creativity, and I'm Italian, so I use a lot of my hand to to understand, to be understood. So if I cannot speak with someone, I will find a way to I will use my mimic to
a bit of
communicate.
activity game.
Yeah, but it's also kind of funny because you use a different way to communicate. So I repeat for the people who join later. If you have any question about the area, about the project, about the school, just write in the direct. Feel free also to write it in Spanish. Someone will translate it for me. And I'm Italian, so feel free also to ask anything you want in Italian. If you don't have a good English, just write it in the question, and I will reply in Italian. Nessun problema.
They can ask you in the comments.
Yeah, you can ask in the comment, in Facebook and Instagram, both.
What about the normal challenges like food, weather? How you felt about
Accommodation.
accommodation?
Okay.
Spiders.
Okay. Let's start from the accommodation. And from
We have
there,
a question.
okay.
It's Italian, and it's from Gabriel, which I know him.
Okay.
Ok.
Ciao, tra poco entrerò a far parte del programma Gaia. Come ti stai trovando al college?
In italiano. Risponderò in italiano.
Yeah.
Ok. Allora, il programma Gaia io non l'ho fatto, quindi metto le mani avanti, ma per mia scelta, perché avevo meno tempo a disposizione e quindi ho deciso di prendermi il programma un pochino più corto. Però il college è una famiglia, farai una vita di comunità, avrai un sacco di esperienze bellissime nella scuola, veramente puoi eliminare qualsiasi tipo di paranoia tu abbia, sarà una gran figata. se hai deciso di partecipare è perché qualcosa dentro te si è mosso, quindi stai tranquillo e andrà tutto bene. Qui nella scuola appunto siamo un gruppo, nel mio caso eravamo 25 studenti, i Gaia di solito sono una decina, poi chi più chi meno, dipende un po' dalle adesioni, però tutta gente molto simpatica, tutti molto alla portata. Devi avere un pochino di proattività, sia per dare supporto al team, ma secondo me anche per farti un po' passare la giornata. Quindi più sei attivo, più andrà tutto liscio. Poi se hai qualche domanda nello specifico, riscrivi e io risponderò di nuovo. Let's go back to the topic of the accommodation. Okay,
But it's in English. Yeah.
let's
It's
do
in
it.
English.
Okay.
How did you decide to leave all of your routinary life and take this opportunity?
Okay.
Your day-to-day life and make your things from Italy.
Okay, well, it was not hard for me because, as I said, I quit my job, so I was kind of free and I was in a change moment. I had to organize my thoughts to realize what I wanted to do. And I also took the opportunity to take some time for me and to stay with my mind without any kind of responsibility. And this is also one extra good things of this school, I think, because you have more time to be in contact with yourself because you don't have to think about bills, food, shopping, car, assecuration, and the petrol and whatever. So you go in a place where you are owner and host and guest in the same moment, and you have a lot of time for you. So for me, it was not it was not a problem at all to live my reality. I was without any kind of responsibility in my place. So I just parked my car, I stopped to rent my house, and I took the plane.
We also have a question, but it's in Spanish. So,
Okay.
Joaquin, you take it.
I mean, someone else is talking about what we've been that you've been talking about, and it says of this that you're talking about, how you can be so quiet, and what do you say about the paranoia that we can stop with the paranoia about what?
No, because well, it was not my case because I was completely without any kind of expectation. So I joined the school without anything. But maybe you can think it will be hard, I will have a lot of study, it will be hard to understand English. I mean, this kind of thoughts that could could stop you to take the decision to join. I met some guys that the first day didn't get anything in English, didn't say any words, and now they are able to speak without any kind of problem. So even if you don't know English and if you want to improve your English, because you have to have this desire to learn, but yeah, it's not a problem at all. And these were my kind of thoughts. Yeah.
Okay. I have got another really good question from New Zealand. A girl who wrote me yesterday, and she want to know, after your experience, what is your definition or what's your actual meaning of being a development instructor?
Okay, is an hard question. I think that when you make this experience, first of all, you start thinking, okay, now I will change the world, but then you realize that you have a lot of limitation because you cannot alone. You cannot do a lot of things. It's a teamwork. So to be developing instructor means to, I think, that means to look for something that can wait. You should develop an idea to create a better life for the people. But it doesn't mean that you have to bring this idea and to develop it in the place. It just means that you kind of put a seed in the soil and you ask to the people to give water to these seeds so that the plant can grow. But you cannot go there and say, okay, no, you are living wrong. This is the way of living. You can just give inspiration to people, give hope to the people, because sometimes they are kind of um,
Hopeless?
not hopeless, but they don't believe a lot in what they are doing and in what they are trying to do. So you need to encourage them. You need to show them that it is possible, and in this way you can even find new idea through them, because you inspire them, so they will have new idea that you can use during your job.
Someone is asking, this is more about the CICD.
I answered the question.
Okay, okay, I got it. And another guy asked me, I would just tell you the question. If I am in agroecology, do I have the chance to contribute and learn from working with the communities in Africa?
You can add a lot, because for sure you will know a lot about the topic. Well, even here in the school, for example, when I studied, it was spring and the beginning of summer, so we also had some classes in the garden talking about permaculture, talking about hydroponic culture. So you will be super prepared, and you will have maybe some other skill to develop during your studying period. I have to say, during the period in the field, it's a yes and a no. A yes, because you can bring a lot of idea. A no, because we studied permaculture and agriculture based on rainy days, a different kind of soil, different kind of seeds, and seed availability. There is a kind of challenge, because the soil is completely dry. For example, I've been in Zambia, and usually the rainy season is 2 months. The last year it rained 4 days instead of 2 months. So the main challenge of the families when we were talking about agriculture was the garden. Now, fortunately, in the last period, this year it started to rain properly. So at least God helped the area. So next year it could be more easy. But imagine to go in a place where they are struggling to have water for them to drink. It's really hard to find new idea to develop the agriculture, because here we are in our home. If you have a laptop, probably you have water in your house. Imagine to walk 30 minutes, 1 hour to go to the common pump, to take 20 liters of water, to charge it in your head, to go in your family, and to give water to drink, to wash the house, to wash the clothes, to have a shower, you and your 6, 7, 8 children. So you don't think a lot about giving water to the tomato, and so a lot of plants are dry. But for sure, as I said, you will have more knowledge about everything. So consider that I had my training here for 3 months. If you studied maybe 5 years in the high school, for sure you know more than me. So, and for sure you know more than them. So you can bring them new idea, and it could be super helpful for the communities.
We have another question.
Yep.
Grande Edo, I was wondering if you can tell us how this experience changed you and how you are thinking to use the experience now that you are back in Europe.
Okay. The experience changed me in the sense of it gave me awareness about the world, because we have an idea of how is Africa that can come from the books of the school in primary school, and that's it. So we don't. I think that if you hear about something, you will never properly know till when you experience this thing. So for sure now I'm more aware, for example, about the consequence of the climate change. So now I'm even more aware about saving water, because about the challenges that we talked at the beginning, and we never affront this topic. I had water and electricity sometimes during the day. So we had just few weeks that was like 1 or 2 hours per day, but it was not a big challenge. The challenge was the water, and I experienced this challenge because we had water from 5 to 7 a.m. every 3 or 4 days. So in those days, we saved the water in big container, and consider that we were in three, as I said, washing clothes, preparing food, drink, and taking shower, and we spent around 100 liters every 3 or 4 days, because it was the maximum amount that we could save. So, for example, it gave me a lot of awareness about the importance of the water, because it's not something illimited that we have. And for example, now I realize that I put a lot of attention in what I'm doing when I'm taking the shower, when I brush my teeth, when I wash the dishes before put them in the washing machine. I mean, it gives you more awareness about the problem of the world. And then it changed me because you are in the other part of the world, far from your family, far from your friends. You are there with yourself, with anyone that tell you what to do, what to not do. So you start thinking, you start to get more in contact with yourself. And so it's also a good way to better know yourself and to mature, to grow in this kind of way. Yeah.
We have 2 more questions.
Okay.
One of them, I think Joaquin will be able to answer because it's someone from Latin America.
Mhm.
I'm from Mexico. Besides the college fees and flights, how much money do I have to consider for the whole year? It's someone that is interested in the German program.
Okay. Well, I suggest to ask better in direct to the group, because for sure they will give you better information. I will tell what I know. Because now the rules are changing here in UK, so I'm not updated and I don't really know how does it works. But I think that there are 2 ways to participate to the. I don't even know about the 12-month team, if South American can still join.
Yeah, she's a self.
Sorry?
She's a self-payer. She pays for the whole course,
So she can
come.
stay.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it's not a problem for the visa, for the.
No.
Okay.
No. It's the same.
Okay, so what is the question again?
How much money do I have to consider for the whole year?
Well, if you
can
pay,
say
if
how
you
much
pay your,
spend, like, for the group.
yeah, it depends on what do you want to do, because if while you are here in the school, in the open weekend, you decide to go every week and every open weekend in London and every Sunday in a big city, spending money, you will need a lot of money. But I never had a lot of money in my life, and I'm still here, so it's something possible. You can, I think, extra money. I don't know. I think 500-600 pounds more than the cost of the project, and is in all this money I put the how can I say the. No. Well, the flight is another
For
kind.
you, it's
Yeah,
stupid,
for me, it was €9 a flight. So don't consider this.
That's nothing.
But if you count the if maybe you want to go to the city and take a coffee during the weekend, or you want to visit York or Edinburgh or Scotland, I mean, affordable places, you can consider about $150 for a weekend that you want to spend away, considering train, food, accommodation, and coffee. And then in Zambia, it works that you, during your project, you have an allowance. It means that every month you will receive $150, which are 3 times the median salary of the place. So will be not a lot, because I cannot say that you will save from this money, but it will allow you for sure to keep a certain way of life and eat what you want every day, and don't eat about shima, which is just flour and maize flour and water. So I mean, if you want to eat properly, and if you want to have a variety of diet, and if you want to eat a lot, it's perfect. If you then we had an investigation week that gave us the opportunity to organize 1 week in the country, but away from the project with our money. You have to consider where you want to go, where you want to spend this week, and how you want to do it. And I've been, for example, in the Victoria Falls, and even there are a lot of possibilities, because it's a super touristic place. So there the prices are like in a city to visit in all over the world. I mean, it's not so cheap. But you can decide if you want to make the safari from $200, or if you want just to enjoy the place and save money and spend maybe $50 for another kind of safari or something like that. So it depends on the lifestyle that you want to have here in the school, but also there in the project. But I think that if you really want to spend a lot of money, £1,000 for 1 year are super enough.
In summary, which is the main thing you learned at the college, and what is the main thing you contribute to the community? Also, how should I prepare my baggage, because I will be from 2 weathers, because here it's cold and
Yeah.
in Africa it's warm.
Okay.
And also,
And does it say where he coming from?
she's coming from
From Mexico.
Okay.
And Cami said this is from home.
Hello,
She
Cami.
said, "Sei bellissimo."
Oh, Cami, I miss you a lot. She was my teammate here. We were students together. Ciao, Cami. Anyway, from Mexico, don't think about the luggage, because here you will be in contact with another kind of world. Here in Hull, which is the main city close to the school, which is 1 hour by bus, there are also charity shops where I bought a lot of clothes that I realized that I needed during this experience. So with 2, 3, 5 pounds that are included in my expenses that I said before, I bought a lot of clothes that were needed, because even me, consider that here you have your laundry once a week. So you need to have 10 days, 8 days of clothes, we can say. So for the luggage, don't take a lot of things, because you will find even here in the city a lot of things. And also here we have a lot of change of students. So kind of everyone come with a backpack and should live with 3 backpack. And instead of live with 3 backpack, leave the extra clothes to the other person. So I think it's not a big deal. Yeah.
It's part of the living community.
Then when she's going to Africa, there she can also buy
Yeah.
clothes, because I know
In Africa, the weather is super hot. I've been in India, so I was kind of prepared. But even those, I was living for 6 months, so I bring the solar panel for the electricity. I bring the bed sheet because you will never know. I bring the things to boil the water that was never needed because what is necessary you will find it even in the place. So everything will be even cheaper than bring from home. You don't have to save space in the bag to keep it. So the necessary things you will find here or in the place without any kind of problem.
So only the strict necessities.
Yeah, yeah. I would say 7 t-shirts, 2 long pants, 2 short pants, and underwear.
Yeah.
And that's it. Hoodies for the winter, 1 jacket for the travel. That's it. The
And
charger
how
and the
about one
laptop.
related with the climate change topic?
Mhm.
How conscious are they in the communities about the climate change?
They are not, and you should inspire them. Then I will also reply to the teaching question that I skipped. But about the climate change, they don't really know what is happening in the world. A lot of time you find, I will say these funny things. The funny and sad in the same moment. But on the streets, there are a lot of glasses from bottles, cane from the drinks, plastic everywhere. So they don't. For example, in our house, our first week, we asked, where can we put this plastic, the spray for the mosquito killer? Uh, they told us, put all together and burn it outside your house because this is what they do, basically. So they are not aware, and there is not even a lot of possibility because even in our 6 months, me and my team, we were splitting, we were creating a fertilizer with the organic trash, but all the rest were burned in the garden, even not from us. Uh, our project leader came with a lighter, and well, that's it. But for example, in my extra time, I worked in a school of the of the community. So my homework as a teacher was, even because the school there are really poor, so they don't give you material for the class of arts that I was giving. So my homework was take things from the street, from the street. So people came with our iron stick, with bottle, with plastic bag, and we use this material to create something. So even when you think about the work that the children make at the school, are things that you have to buy, and then okay, they are good memories, but a lot of time go in the trash. So if you take the trash from the trash, it will finish there, but at least it was trash and you are doing something good for the environment. And it was also a good thing to clean the way from the road to the school. So it was a good thing. And this is also related, for this I linked to the ex question about the teaching, because well, for sure you understand that the comfort that you have in the house are not sometimes are not even needed a lot. Don't pretend, but we are not grateful for what we have because we don't realize what we have till when we lose it. So when you are there, then you start to think. But also, even without, for example, gas, you can. I cook my food in the in a kind of bonfire with the charcoal. At the beginning was a shit because it was full of smoke and it was 1 hour to prepare the fire, and then slowly with the days and with the experience, you understand how does it works, and you understand that in 15 minutes you will have a perfect fire to cook whatever you want. So the first time, after 1 hour and a half, I ate some scrambled eggs. At the end, I was cooking pasta and sauce and meat and whatever I wanted, and without any kind of problem. And when we had back the gas, the gas, it was even boring to cook because
What they so,
it
why
was
so easy?
it was so easy. And I think if you make an effort to prepare your food, the food will be more tasty. So
You're
for
definitely
example,
getting hungrier.
yeah.
Into the fire, into
Yeah.
everything that. Yeah, I don't have more questions, so now we can talk about whatever you
Okay.
like.
So let's go back to the accommodation, the spider, and the snakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The normal challenges.
Okay. So as I said, we didn't have water and electricity, so I already spoke about the challenges in the daily routine. I also already talked about the fact to be a lot lonely with yourself because you have to mm, hear your thoughts because you don't have electricity, so you cannot watch TV. You don't have water, so you cannot take a shower and refresh your brain when you're overthinking. So you're just there and you have to think. And you have also, at least I had a lot of time, free time, because the things were not really happening how they were supposed to do, because sometimes we had meeting, for example, we are in a mindset that if I say at 9 we will have a meeting, if it's not at 9, at 9:05 the meeting will start. Imagine to arrive there and to say, okay, we will have a meeting at 9, you arrive 10 to 9 to be punctual, and then you wait and no one arrives. And then it's 10 and no one arrives. And then it's 11 and no one arrives. And then you send a message or you call, hello, where are you? Are you coming? Yes, I'm coming. At 12, nobody arrives. And maybe the meeting is in the afternoon because the people will arrive. But it's not for sure. But this is not because they are irrespectful and they are late, but because it's another kind of life. People come from far away without water, without electricity. It's hard to organize your day, and even for us, it happens to be late because sometimes the imprevisti. In Monopoly, you have probability and
Something imprevisible.
yeah,
Yeah.
unpredictable things that happen. For example, you wake up and you don't have electricity, so you cannot cook on the fire. On the gas, you have to turn on the fire to have breakfast. But then, I mean, there are a lot of, and then you don't go by car to work. You just bike. So maybe you punch the tire, and you have to walk a lot to find someone to repair it. I mean, there are a lot of things that you cannot think that they can happen, and so a lot of time people is late, and it's also common and understood by the other people. So it's not
Understandable.
well. The people will not punch you because you are late. Don't worry. And so yeah, this was another challenge. The accommodation for us as a DI, Humana people to people, give us a place, a safe place where to stay. So we were in a super nice house with the papaya trees, with the mango trees. So we had 3 papayas and 3 mangoes that were also good to see and to eat.
Yeah,
How
but
far
you
from
were
the
lucky
work?
though.
We were, well, how far from the work is a good question, because the work is not a physical place. We were working in the rural village around the city, because then in the city there are houses, I cannot say normal, but advanced houses. And in the rural areas is where the people need support, more support. So from our house to the office, it was around 10 minutes by bike. But then we were working in 3 different clinics, like physical places where we gave support to the children, to the family, and whatever. One was at 5 minutes by bike, one was a 40 minute by bike, and the other one I think 20 minutes by bike. But then you have also to, for example, our project didn't work just directly to the HIV. I mean, we gave a lot of psychological support, but we were working also in a lot of other projects from the teens club. So we were giving classes to teenagers to make them understand that they can live a happy life even with the HIV. And also in this teen club, for example, it was a free place where to stay all together and to have fun and to play some games. And it was also one of my favorite group, because the new generation are starting, fortunately, to go more in the school. So they speak a better English for sure compared to the adults. And when it was not possible to speak with children that were not speaking English, you had the opportunity to ask directly to the children that were speaking English to translate. So it was a teamwork even in the teen club. Then we had saving group for the woman, and again we were meeting in the rural areas, in the rural village, the one at 5 minutes, the one at 15 minutes, the one far away. But in the first week, they asked me to visit a garden, because to support the family, the project gave a bunch of seeds to give to the family the opportunity to try to grow plants and grow food and to save more money for their family. And so, because of the agricultural topic of before, you also have to check how the garden are improving, are working. If you can see, maybe you can give them some tips to, I don't know, for example, to cut the tomato so that it can produce more, or I mean, you can give more tips for sure. So the first week that I was not even trained to bike, because at the end it was super easy go to the office 40 minutes away from the house. But that week I bike 5 hours to visit one garden, 2 hours and a half to go and 2 hours and a half to come back. So it's hard to define a time from house to the project. Even because, for example, there are a lot of teammates that studied with me in the college. They are in the field right now. For example, Camilla, again, and she lives in the school with the students. So she is in her workplace. It depends on your project. It depends on your area in your work.
Yeah, the project I think it really makes a difference even in your housing and what you're going to do. So you were kind of lucky with the house that you got,
Yeah.
because sometimes other students they were saying, "Oh, we have one room, and I had to
Yeah.
wash the dishes outside because we didn't have water inside. I had to cook outside. I had to do everything outside."
Yeah, we were also doing that. But I'm the kind of person, for example, even this is super subjective, because for me, if I don't have water and if I have to cook on the fire, I'm excited to do it, and the food is more tasty, and you can be more grateful for what you can do even when you don't have all the comfort of the house. For other person can be a super challenge. So I'm the kind of person that even like to is not challenge yourself, but yeah, to challenge yourself.
It is, yeah.
So everything is an adventure.
So
Yeah.
if people want to ask
Yeah.
more questions, you can tell them.
So feel free to ask more questions if you are curious about special topics. Again, in English, in Italian, in Spanish, in Romanian, in Brazilian. We have person from all over the world in this office.
Around the world. Do you feel
So, okay.
Okay, it was just my question, but you can.
No, even about the accommodation, for example, once we found a spider,
Yeah.
which is not a spider, it was a big one. And the problem is that after to see the big one and we made a research, we discovered that it was like the cousin of the scorpion. And so it was even a bit dangerous, not so much, not poison, but it's not so funny to have a spider in the house, which is even cousin from scorpion. And the problem is that after a while we saw the same spider but small. And if there is a big and if there is a small, it means there is a family. And so I made another research because, okay, the first one was to know which spider it was. The second one was how many kids can a spider do? And when the answer is between 90 and 150, and you see one, you start to think, okay, where are all the other 149? So in that week was a mess because we saw a big one and two small ones. So for sure it was a family. But then fortunately we stopped to think about it and nobody saw other spiders. And we also saw snakes. Once I was outside of my house without shoes, without flip-flop. And so I was barefoot on the ground and I started to feel a kind of noise around me. And I had the feet and the snake.
Oh.
I was not, I mean, I'm the kind of person that in these situations say, wow, there is a snake. So it was not a big challenge, but it can be. So,
No
Yeah.
way you wanted to be friends with the snake.
yeah. But if you are respectful of animal, they will not
Do anything.
come to you to bite you because they are better than humans.
Well,
You were working with HIV positive kids, okay, but
Yes.
which other needs did you identify on that community?
As I said, sometimes there is not a lot of believing in what they were doing, and it means that even the teenager have dreams that are not real dreams. I mean, when you ask what you want to do when you are old to a person here in Italy, UK, there is people that will say they want to play football, that wants to be a singer, that wants to be a rock star. I mean, we have a lot of things that we know, and that we know that if we work a lot on these, we can achieve our goal. There is more. They are more concrete. I mean, if you ask to a girl which is your dream life, there is someone that will reply to wash socks or shoes to the people because they know that. I mean, no, they know because it's sad to think that this was what they could do, but this is what they knew about the reality because they don't know that there are also a lot of possibilities, and maybe that you can improve your creativity and then move to another city to do another kind of job. Because, for example, in the super rural areas, the works are agriculture. A lot of women make braids in the shops. There is the market to buy and to sell some food, and that's it basically. There is someone who cleans the houses of the neighborhood, but is something limited, and even this was a challenge for us because it's even hard to make them believe that there is something more if they don't even know. And for example, when we had the opportunity to go for the investigation time and to go into a touristic place where there was even a handcraft shop, if there is handcraft shop, is because you can also improve your ability to create a statue, a wood statue that could be sold. So, I mean, it's hard to make them understand that the reality is not just related to the place where they will go. Even because in their culture, it happens a lot that you get married with a person of another place, and you choose one of those places to live in. So, and maybe in that place, in that area, there are more possibility, opportunity. Yeah.
Pedro asked, what kind of support needs a kid with HIV?
Okay, even this, now, don't, I want you to understand what I'm saying. So, we have an image of HIV in Africa, which is represented by the advertising of UNICEF or Save the Children in the TV. So you find in the images that they show us, they are super skinny. They are, yes, there are also children with malnutrition problem, but I was expecting, if for the school I had no expectation, for the project I have bad expectation, because I was kind of psychologically ready to face with super hard situation that luckily I didn't face during my project. So children with HIV needs to know that is a common thing, that is not the only one in the world, that can have support from their friends, for their family. And even this was our job. For example, when a children found out that it was positive, our first thing to do was to meet the family and to make a trio visit, it was called, with the children, which is positive. The person who take care of the children, that usually was the mother of the sister, and one extra person that in case the first one was not able to support the children, maybe because was out of the city, this third person could help, could work inside of the first one, and to be sure that the children was taking the medication. So they need to know how they could take the treatment. They should know that if they take the treatment constantly every day at the same hour, the organism build immunitary system is not more how can I say? No, if you take
compromise.
It's fragile.
yes, it's no more compromised. So if you take the pill every day with constance at the same hour, your body will be stronger, and the virus will also lose a lot of power in your body. Your virality will go down after a while, slowly, but at the end, if you keep taking your pill, and you have to understand also that you have to take this pill for the rest of your life, because otherwise there are not good things that can happen, but you can kill the virus and live a super normal life. Even, but just to say, the probability to infect someone else if you are under ARV, antiretroviral, you shouldn't, but if you have not protect sex, there is not the probability,
risk.
yes, is under zero, the percentage to transmit the
Disease.
yes. For example, to let you understand, even something that I discovered during this project, because yes, we also have some notion about HIV, but we are not even really trained if we are not going to train someone else. So something that I discovered during my period, and I would never said, is that if a pregnant woman discovered to be HIV positive and she starts to take the ARV, she can give a baby which is negative to HIV,
Wow.
for example. And even if you breast, I think,
Yeah, basically.
yeah, even through the breastfeed, which is a kind of transmission of the issue, the mother that are taking the ARV pills are having and growing negative children. And this is also contributing to the total control of the epidemic. Because if the 11% of population in Zambia is affected by HIV, if they all take the medication, it will be like a
Funny.
yeah
Yeah, will be reduce the
a reduction
The rate.
yeah, and so it's something that they absolutely need to know.
Okay.
We can stay 5 more minutes.
Hmm?
We can stay 5 more minutes.
Yeah, sure. If there are more questions, I'm happy to reply.
For now, questions, no, but you can talk more about how it's going.
Okay.
And
for
maybe
example-
what I'm doing now for bringing it to the public, because I didn't-
Okay. Yes.
For example, this that you tell us about HIV. I mean, we have just a normal knowledge about it. What else like this you found there? Like,
Okay. Something that shocked me the
Yeah.
first time, the first meeting, was that when we talk with children, we have a lot of taboo, and we don't really explain the reality most of the time. And they are really direct in explaining things. And I remember that in my first teen club, I was with another teacher that, without let me say my name and that's it, he told me, teach something. And so I was like, oh my God, what I have to teach? It was my first meeting, so I was like disoriented. And so I started to talk about HIV, about what it was, about the even I wanted to understand their knowledge about the things. And so I asked, do you know how you can transmit HIV? And one children around 8 years told me, having no protect sex. I was like, wow, you are really aware of the reality, and it's also a good thing because as I said here, a lot of time we speak to children like if they are not human, avoiding a lot of topics and saying a lot of shit that is not real. It's a good time, good things for their fantasy and their creativity, but they are more direct in everything they do. So it surprised me when I found out.
like children reality. I mean, they live in, they have their own words,
Yeah,
and it's even if it is a complicated word inside the children's mind. I think that they have a really complex thinking about things. They have a very simple way to talk about it, but they're conscious of many things.
yeah. But for example, I think that even the children are more mature here there than here. First of all, I never heard a children cry because he wanted something. Eh, As you can see here on the bus, on the airplane, and whatever. When there is a children that cry, you are like, oh my God, why do people still do children? And there it's full of children, and they are super auto efficient. They go alone in the street since when they are 3 years old. You see hand by hand, brother and sister that both are like 4 and 6 years. I mean, they are really aware of what they are doing and about where they are going, and I think they are more even
Mature, yeah.
more mature, yeah.
Independent.
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
parents. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And even sometimes you feel like, okay, I need to do something, because it happened a lot of time that you are in the garden of houses in rural areas, and the soil of those places is really full of trash that can be iron, glass, sticks, uh, tools that appear. And the more you clean, the more you dig, the more the things will raise up. So you can also you cannot also clean the area where the children are playing. But sometimes you see children that are taking the glass from the soil and put it in the mouth, and you say, okay, he could cut his tongue, he could take a lot of infection, he could do a lot of bad things. And so you would like to see, come on, give me the glass. But then when you do it, the parents are like, what are you doing? What this is the life, the reality, there is the risk. But no, don't worry. I mean, we have another kind of education and of awareness of what could happen even. So it's even hard in that situation to stay in your place, because then you are a stranger in their house. You cannot even go to the children and remove the glass, even if you will do one day, at one point.
We don't have any more questions, so you can say your goodbyes.
Okay. So if you have more question, take these 2 minutes to write it. Otherwise, I really hope that you will have a nice end of the day. Even if you want to, I mean, in the post that was advertising the live, there is my link to my profile. So feel free, even if you will have question in the next day, to find out my name on Instagram, Zezza in Zambia, and just write me whatever you want. And yeah, I really hope that I reply to all your questions, and see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.